Howdy folks, welcome back to Duke Frazier Productions. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at something I consider to be the coolest thing that hit the black powder market to date. That is these 36 caliber conical bullets that are Civil War era, made by Eras Gone Bullets. And today we'll be testing them in the 1851 Navy. Stay tuned. So as I said, we're testing the 36 caliber conicals from Eras Gone Bullets today, and we don't show the loading procedure again. That's because we had a thunderhead moving in, and I'll show a little clip of that here. So I was trying to get everything done in a hurry. When I decided to go up there, the sun was shining. By the time we got up there, it was starting to cloud over, and before I even got it loaded, I mean, you could see the rain coming a couple miles out. So we were pretty well rushing to get it done before it got there. So the loading in this, I loaded 15 grains of 3F GoX black powder. I used a 36 caliber felt wad, and then of course the conical bullet on top of that. And then we used number 10 Remington caps. With 15 grains, and if you use a felt wad, that's the max load you can get. Now I was talking with the developer of these, who's Mark Hubbs over at Eras Gone Bullets, and he told me that the ordnance manual said 17 grains. So if you cut out the wad in there, you could probably get 17 grains in, but with the 15 grain load in the wad, I mean, we were pretty well at max. The tip of the bullets were just below the chamber mouths, just barely enough to clear the forcing cone when the cylinder come around. But I was very impressed with today's results, so we'll go ahead and we'll get to shooting, and then we'll talk about the results afterwards. Alrighty, so we have our 1851 by Uberti loaded up with the Colt style conical bullets from Eras Gone Bullets. I put 15 grains of 3F GoX in there with a 36 caliber felt lubricated wad. Now I'll tell you, when you load it, you won't see the ring of lead on the face of the chamber, but I kind of looked real close, and there is a small ring, but it follows the bullet down when you seat it. So for me, it could have been just a hair bigger, but we'll see if it works. Now I can't see very close, or excuse me, I can't see very well where those are hitting at. I see a couple holes. So I'll get the fragments cleared out here, and I'll go down and take a look. See how it did. Well, it did very well. With these conical bullets, impact is pretty close to point of aim. I'm very impressed with them. So you'll be able to see it here on the target camera. I'll show it, but the group is pretty nice. There's one little flyer, and it seems like every time I shoot a gun, there's always that one flyer. So we'll go ahead and we'll load it up again. Now I got 2 dots on there, so we'll go with the second dot and see if we can get the same grouping. Alright, so this is our second group. And make sure I got the target camera on. We do have it on. I only got about 20 minutes of battery life left, so we'll go ahead and we'll shoot this second group on the dot on the left. Pulled that one. Alright, again, spectacular results. The one that went high and a little bit to the right, I did pull that one. Wasn't quite on my sights where I wanted to be. Tell you what though, with this big front post sight they got on here and that little bitty notch, I did open that notch up a little bit, but it didn't seem to help much. That might be why that group isn't tighter, but that is really good results. I'm going to walk down and take a closer look. Alright, so both groups are within the size of a tobacco can, so I don't have a measuring device out here with me at this point in time, so that's what I'm going by. I got one flyer on each grouping, but you know what, I'm pretty impressed. Alright, so we're out here, we got some Yankee squash out here in front of us. The way you tell that they're Yankees is because they're yellow. So we're going to take the 36 caliber Conical and we'll see what we can do with them. I hit every single one. That's a first for me. Alright, so I think we're going to get rained out, so unfortunately we can't kill any more squash. I think we're going to have to get moving here pretty quick because there's a nice thunderhead coming along. I'll get a shot of it before we leave. But I want to thank Mark Hubbs for developing these Conicals. These things are awesome. I really like them. Now in the future here, I'm looking at getting a Uberti 1860. We'll do the 44 caliber Johnson & Dow Conicals. I do have a Pieta 1860, but it will not take those particular ones. My Walker will shoot them, but we're going to try the 1860 and see how it does. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so I told a little fib. We're going to do one more thing. I have a water jug. Missed a little water because I was thirsty. We're going to hit that with this bullet and see what it does, and then we'll take a pop on the squash with what's ever left. Man, this thing is dead on. So again, Mark, thank you for developing this. I'm really loving it. Alright, so this definitely will be the last little shooting because this storm is getting in, the wind's starting to pick up, and I don't want to take a chance of a camera taking a spill on a tripod. So we're going to wrap up here. Alright, so the results on this, like I said, are pretty spectacular. When we're shooting on the paper, we're right about 14 of my paces, which comes out right to about 14 yards. And I was aiming right on the red dot, and these were hitting very close to point of aim. And we were getting spectacular groupings. This is just about as good as what my Walker shoots. So I measured them out. The groupings come out to about 2 inches if you discount the 2 flyers that we had. We had 1 flyer in each group. That was attributed to me. So a 2-inch group, really great accuracy. When I went to the reactive targets, the squash and the milk jug, we moved up a little bit closer, between 7 and 10 yards. I was still hitting on opponent aim. I was hitting everything that I was going at. The milk jug that we hit at that distance, or I should say the water jug, the bullets did pass clean through that. They pretty well straight right on through, so we weren't able to recover them. But like I said, I was very impressed with the results of this bullet in this gun. It's pretty spectacular. Alright, so if you would like to get a hold of one of these molds, and maybe one of the 44 caliber molds that's also made by Arrows Gone Bullets, I'll put a link to the description. I don't remember off the top of my head the URL, so I'm not going to name it here, but if you go down to the description box, the URL will be right there. These things run, I think, 60 bucks is what I paid for the 36. It's well worth the money. I've got to say that. Well worth the money. So as I said earlier in the video, I'm looking at Uberti 1860 here in the near future. When I do get that, we'll test the 44 caliber Conicals that's also made by this company, which are a copy of the Johnson & Dow, and we'll see if they produce us similar results. Alright, well that's going to take care of it today for the video on the 36 caliber Conicals. If you've liked what you see in the channel thus far, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook as well, www.facebook.com/Duke Frazier Productions. And also, we do have a Patreon page. You can find that at www.patreon.com/Duke Frazier Productions. Go over and take a look. Maybe think about giving us something a little bit to the channel. That way we can keep going. Be sure to stay tuned and keep your powder dry.